Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about a way to reduce money spending. So if you guys are living in the UAE, I'm going to share my experience with you in order to get a new or a used car. So I'm going to compare the options for you guys, and then you have the decision to decide whether you can get a used or a brand new car. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. This is my channel. My channel is still brand new. I'm talking about all the ways of how to make money online, how to save money, and how to grow it either online or offline. Based on my research on my channel, I discovered that most of my viewers are actually from the UAE, and I am actually located in the UAE. So from now on, I will start adding videos that is related to UAE and how you can live and spend less, since UAE is a really a tempting place to live in. So you can end like spending too much money and you will not even notice that, because let's face it, the UAE is one of the best places in the world. You have a lot of places to entertain yourself or your family or with your friends. So you are actually allowed to do that, but you should be careful actually from your spendings. And based on the money that you earn, you need to know how much actually you can spend. So in this case, we're gonna talk a little bit about cars, because transportation can be really costly in the UAE. So why not try to get a car for you? And since the UAE, actually the temperature is very hot, you cannot even walk outside for long, so you need to be with air conditioning at all. So imagine you are stuck outside waiting for a taxi, and that area is not actually really popular, so you're gonna end up staying in the heat, in the sun. So that's not good. So if you have car, you don't need to suffer that much. So if you are actually thinking of buying a car, you should first of all think about the cost of the car and compare it to your commute. So if you're going to use it more often, you need to think about the amount of money that you're paying for transportation, and that amount that you're going to pay for a car, is it going to cover that amount? Because having a car is not always a good idea. It can be costly, and you don't even need it if you actually have transportation to your work, or you're living next to your job, so you're just like a walkable distance. So you don't need that. But if you are actually living on your own, or if you want to live in a cheaper area, because Dubai, each area has a different price for rent. Some of us want to live in a cheaper area. So if you want to do that, you need to have at least a car to transport you from your work into your home. And it's also very, very useful when you go to do groceries or you go out with friends. So there's a lot of benefits, even though it can be a little bit costly, but it's good. So now let's take a quick look for this beautiful white paper. Never stop learning, guys. Keep learning, researching, and do your thing. If you want to grow in life, of course, you need to learn everything new stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you a little bit of picture here. This shows you, if you're actually planning to buy a used car, here are some things that you need to look after. So pros, actually it can be more affordable, because cars are really expensive if you're gonna buy a new car. But compared to other countries, the price in UAE is much cheaper because of the taxation. You're not paying a lot of tax in this country. This is like a tax-free country. So that's the good thing about the price of a new car. You're not gonna pay a lot compared to your original country, for example. But if you're gonna buy a used car, the amount of money you're gonna pay is much cheaper. And also there's many options to choose from. You have too many options, too many brands. Sometimes when you want to buy a new car, you're always looking for the offer, the good offer, and you get stuck to one brand, so you cannot actually choose. But when you have cash in hand, because as we said, it's more affordable, so probably you have cash in hand, you don't have a bank loan or anything, so you have more options to choose from, and you can go and check the car, and if you don't like it, that's it. You go check another one. You have a lot of options to do. Also, warranty can be carried over from the previous owner. Guys, the UAE is actually a place that doesn't make a lot of people stay forever. Some people, they came for a month or 1 year, or let's say 2 years, and then maybe if they are not willing to stay for long, they will go back to their country. So they want to get rid of their cars. So imagine someone who bought a new car and it's still in warranty. Usually it's 4 years or 5 years, and he stayed in UAE only for 2 years, so it's still in warranty for 2 more years. So that's a great opportunity for you if you get a car like that. It's still like only 2 years used and still on warranty. If something happens to the car, you can return it and they will fix it for you, or even they can replace it. I don't know. So these are some pros. Now cons. In some cases, it can be more expensive since you're usually can only finance used cars for more than 2 4 years. This is if you're gonna get an expensive car, even though it's used. It can be like I don't know, like more than 200,000 dirhams, and of course used. It's not gonna be much cheaper. It's gonna be like 150,000 or something like that. So the price is reduced, but still it's not affordable probably for anyone. So you have to take a finance for it. I don't think this is an issue in the UAE, but we just have to cover it in case. It may break down. You don't know all previous problems the car may have had. So this is the most and major issue about used cars. You don't know the history of the car, even though you can get a accident report from agencies, or you can even check the car by a maintenance guy or a mechanic or whatever. But still, you don't know what happened to this car, and it might look perfectly fine, but sometimes things happen in the wrong direction. So the thing that I'm going to tell you is that most of the cars in the UAE are not used for a long time, so they are in a good condition. But if you don't know about car, and usually ladies are the ones who don't know a lot about cars and mechanic and all of this stuff, so I would advise you to take your car and do something called a comprehensive test. A comprehensive test is that you will take a car to a special place that will cover all of the details and all of the major issues of the car, and they will give you a report, a full report. They will tell you what happened to the car, if there's any major accidents or minor accidents, if anything had been replaced in the car. So they will tell you everything. This is actually what I personally did when I bought my first used car here in the UAE. And even though I knew a little bit about mechanics and I checked the car, it was perfectly fine, but still I had to pay like around 500 dirham. And I wanted to check, because if you buy a car, you are buying something that you're going to use for a long time, something that you're going to trust for yourself and for your families. You're going to carry your families with you. So your car must be safe. So that's why I paid this amount. But when they checked the car for me, they told me that the car is perfectly fine. There is no issue with it. So when I bought this car, I was very confident with it. So things that you should also pay attention is the miles of the car, like how much miles that the car has been driven. These kind of things, it's very easy to check. Some people, they said that they can be manipulated. That's true, but it's like logical. If you bought a car that is used for 1 or 2 years, it's not gonna be that issue to see the miles of the car, because usually it's gonna be less than 50,000 miles. So but if you're looking for an older car, and you see the number is like 50,000, that means there's definitely something wrong. So I would advise you guys to go to this website as well if you are planning to buy a car. Dubizzle is like a marketplace for buying and selling used stuff online. So it's very easy to look for a car. Just hit used car. But I'm gonna show you the proper way of using this website, because it can be misleading as well. So let's see how you can do it. So always choose the Emirates that you want. So Dubai usually is the best place, but depends on your location. So motors, used car, and this is the make of the car that you want, whether it's Aston Martin or Alfa Romeo or anything. But my advice for you is to go with Japanese car. Japanese cars are very reliable in the UAE. They can actually endure the heat, and they are very good in terms of air conditioning. And the car is really reliable. So One of the best one, of course, is Toyota. You can choose Nissan. There is also Suzuki, Mazda. All of these brands are Japanese, and also you can choose from Korean cars as well, like Kia or Hyundai. These also are very reliable. I won't recommend you to go with European cars if you're gonna buy a used one, but if you're gonna buy a new car, definitely go for a German car or any European brand that you want. But bear in mind that the car maintenance of European car is very expensive in the UAE. So that's why Japanese cars are much cheaper to maintain, and you can find all the parts that you need. So let's say, for example, we're gonna buy Toyota. Toyota also, they have tons of models of cars. The ones that you need will definitely fit into this brand. Whether if you want an SUV or a sport car or a off-roading car, any type of car that you actually think of, you can find it here. So let's say, for example, we gonna not gonna check which car we want. Here you can set the price of the car that you want. For example, your budget is only 50,000, for example. Let's say 50,000. This is just an example. So all the ads that's gonna be showing here will not show you cars that's valued more than 50,000. You can set also the starting price if you want to avoid some very old cars that you don't need. So in this case, maybe I will choose like 35,000. So let's say this is my budget, and year, you can always check the year of the car. At least my advice, it should not be more than 5 years old. So in this case, we're gonna select 2018. And also kilometers, this is the mileage of the car. So never go for a car that has more mileage than 100,000. This is a good advice. If you went for a even lower than that, that's gonna be perfect. So here I'm gonna put 100,000, and that's it. Seller type, there is owner, dealer. Also, dealer is misleading sometimes because they just want to make profit. So better to go with an owner. And that's it. And put the search, and they will give you the results here. As you can see, guys, this is the cars. Yeah, Nissan Kicks, 2018, 45,000. You have all of these kind of ads, but I would recommend you to avoid these featured ads because these guys, most probably, they pay money to stay in the first page. So better for you to find the ones, because car market is huge and a lot of people are trying to sell their cars and they can do whatever they want. So that's why they they put the higher price and they pay more money for advertisement. But here, as you can see, guys, this is the starting of the ads, and you can check here any car you want. Most importantly, you once you go to the car, go and check for all the details. You can see, guys, this is a Toyota Yaris 2019, and these are the specifications. So the mileage is very low. This is very nice. It doesn't have a warranty. The color white. The color is very important if you're gonna buy a car. And make sure the color is either white or gray, because as you know, UAE is a very dusty country and sand is going everywhere, and your car can get dirty in a seconds actually. So if your car has a dark color like black or dark blue or any dark color, it's gonna get dirty very fast. So I highly recommend you to have a white car. So these also specifications: automatic transmission. Automatic is much better than manual for sure, and make sure if that's one of your things that you want, make sure to get an automatic car. GCC specs, this is very important because these cars are made in the GCC region in the Gulf countries, and they are made to endure the environment of these countries. So make sure to buy this kind of cars. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can check also the description of the car, as you can see here. So based on this description, this can be a dealer for sure, as he's giving you the options about bank loan and everything, because they can do all of this kind of stuff for you. But usually it's not a good idea to go with a dealer, but also check your options, and if they are giving you a good deal, why not? You can check with them. You can see the pictures as well of the car, and if you like it, you can contact the person by chatting, or just show the phone number and they will show you the number. You can call them directly. So that's it actually for buying a used car. These all the advantages and disadvantages of buying a used car. But if you are willing to buy a new car, bear in mind that the price is compared to a used car is very high, and you don't actually have to spend that much if you want to have a nice car. So but if you of course want a peace of mind, and you are scared of buying a expensive used car and you will face some issues with it, then it's better to go with a new car. Also, something that I forgot to mention is that usually when you buy a used car, the previous owner is actually most of the time is looking after this car. So they usually replace the parts, the broken parts, or they even add gadgets to your car, like they put like a real stereo, like some accessories, like they tint the car as well, so you don't have to pay for all of this kind of stuff. So that's also an advantage you need to look after. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this video, and if you have any questions about cars or used cars, on tips or anything that you want to know, just in the comment section. And if you like the video, make sure to like it, and definitely don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.